Africans out there all over the world, I want you to subscribe to African Traditional Marriage TV at all times. Keep watching and you will learn a lot. God bless you.
Hi, my name is Eddie. I'm here from African Traditional Marriage TV to talk to this handsome young man here, one of our actors in Nollywood, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria General, and he's a philanthropist, okay? So, and his name is...
Alright, you are with Kenneth Ekanem.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here we are. We want to ask him a few questions, like a little bit of things you really love to enjoy about African Traditional Marriage TV, like globally. Because there are so many things that concerning African tradition that you do not know. When in terms of, there are some things we don't know, and we just have to make an inquiry about them. And this man here happens to tell us everything when it concerns this. So you just have to listen and have this view in enjoying. So, sir, what do you think? What can you tell us about African traditional marriage? How do you understand it?
Well, my understanding of the African traditional marriage marriage is a global thing.
Okay.
But Africa, the content of our traditional marriage is the fact that you cannot come and take someone's child without consenting to the parent. As Africans, we are family people. We live a community life. And the most important variable in all of this is that we are actually morally very, very serious. We have a strong moral background that we cannot violate.
Wow.
So that's where the African marriage tradition is strong. Now, there are contents of our tradition, and these contents have a way of filtering into the marriage.
Wow.
For instance, it would have been, you hear in Europe, another part of the world, that a young man and young woman can just take themselves, hold a priest by the roadside, and they join together and probably maybe go to court and make it legal. They're married.
Wow.
Their parents may not know anything about that. Their family members may not know anything about that.
Okay.
But here in Africa, we cannot do that because of our background morally. Now, our moral background will see that as not just disrespect, but as an abomination.
Okay.
Because we hold tightly to those tenets of our tradition, and we must follow them religiously to make sure that we don't disrespect, we don't violate, and we don't do anything to tarnish the content of our moral, of our tradition morally too.
Wow, that is really incredible.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. Okay, you were talking about not passing, like breaking the morals. What does infertility have to do with African traditional marriage?
Infertility?
Yep. Like infertility, fertility. Some time ago, I had some fathers talk about there is a deity that was brought into Africa,
okay,
that it was because of fertility issues that there was no trust anymore in the issue. So to you.
Okay, are you talking about the issue of trust?
Yes.
In marriages, like, are you talking about the Ikponka kind of thing?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, that is infidelity.
Okay.
All right, infidelity. Infidelity in our tradition. You see, infidelity is not just the content of our tradition. Okay. Infidelity is a global problem.
Okay.
As much as we have good human beings, we also have bad human beings. So the issue of infidelity, as Africans, because of our moral stand, we have to bring in a control mechanism where these women will be subjected to check and balances when it has to do with infidelity. Okay. Now, because of the fact that a lot of women do cheat on their spouses, so being that we are very close to our tradition,
okay,
so there's a certain deity, the Ikponka deity, that was brought in just to make sure that women, for instance, the men will always go out there, may travel, and some women, it's not an African thing, women all over the world can cheat also.
Okay.
So because of trying to check, and in Africa, it's a show of disrespect, the height of disrespect for our wives
Okay.
to have an affair with another man that is not their husband's.
Wow.
So because of the love we have for our wives,
Okay.
our forefathers said, okay, if any woman does this, there will be Ekponkawo there to make sure that you are punished or that truth is revealed. No matter how secretive the affair may have been, no matter where you hide to do this, we have Ekponkawo as a check that will balance our sex life
Wow.
in marriage.
Which means this Ekponkawo is as our dialect name, but it has an English name, like it's a deity that only operates when a woman or a man, like when the woman does something of that nature. That's the only way that Ekponkawo can also be.
Well, first let me correct an impression. Ekponkawo does not have any other name. It doesn't have an English name.
Okay.
It should not have an English name.
Okay.
You know, most of the things we hear in the world today, many parts of the world, like the envelope originated from France. It's a French, you know, the English people did not change envelope to, what's the English name for envelope? Envelope.
Okay.
That's it. Ekponkawo is Ekponkawo. The only thing I can help out there is to explain,
Okay.
to give what we call conceptual definition of Ekponkawo.
Okay.
This is what Ekponkawo is.
Okay.
Ekponkawo is a deity in our tradition that is brought to play when there is an issue of infidelity in marriages. Most especially when the woman is in the wrong.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. So Ekponkawo is that deity that will make the woman to speak the truth, especially when it's time for childbirth. Ekponkawo can come to play. Ekponkawo can act in many forms. The woman can be killed. The woman can have an incurable disease.
Okay.
The woman can have difficulty when it's time for childbirth. And by so doing, the appearance of Ekponkawo to the woman will make the woman to confess and say the names of the people that have had an affair with her. Without that, she won't be able to put to birth. And she may end up dying in the process. So that is how Ekponkawo, the deity, okay?
Okay.
The deity Ekponkawo comes to play. It's Ekponkawo. Don't struggle. Don't ever struggle to have an English name for Ekponkawo. Ekponkawo is Ekponkawo.
Wow, thank you so much, sir. Okay, in this as it is right now, you know, the whites brought something like Christianity to us.
Okay.
And so many people think that Ekponkawo should be abolished, Ekponkawo should be changed, that African traditional marriage, like African tradition, like in terms of that, is a sin. And what was your take on that?
Well, I'm a good Christian as well.
Okay.
For me, we did not bring Ekponkawo.
Okay.
Well, one thing we have to understand is that as much as we have people that are Christians, we also have people who are traditionalists.
Okay.
We're not going to force them to do away with their practices.
Okay.
Nigeria has a unnumbered number of things we worship.
Okay.
Okay, we have the traditional African worshippers,
Wow.
and that is who they are.
Okay.
And as a civilized society, we have to respect their own spiritual affiliation as well.
Okay.
So that it is. But as a Christian, why would you tell me to go and abolish Ekponkawo? Why are the women afraid of Ekponkawo?
Sorry, sir. Is this Ekponkawo mainly for women? I think it should be for both sides.
Well, there are some clauses.
Okay.
It was mainly for women. But there are things that can be done. It will also affect the husbands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. So what do you think? Is there anything that should be amended, anything that should be added, you know, something that can make this thing shapeable, so that for the future changes, our children wouldn't come to ask us questions concerning this?
Are you talking about the traditional marriage in general?
In general.
Well, we have one strong thing. Let me stay on that one first. We have one strong thing that should be changed in the content of our traditional marriage rights.
Whoa.
Now, the issue of getting a lot of things from the husband, the about to be husband in traditional marriage is a serious problem. For instance, in some cultures, you can see that people don't need to give anything. The dowry is a global thing.
Okay.
The dowry is like, okay, you're coming to take my daughter away from me permanently. So there should be something in exchange. Now, originally, this item of exchange was not supposed to be like you are selling your daughter. Okay. It was supposed to give legality to the act of taking my daughter away to yourself permanently. Okay. So if something must be legal, okay, there must be something to exchange for it. If you want to buy a car today, to take it from the owner of the car, you pay. If you want to buy a television set, you pay, take from the former owner, and own permanently. Now, that dowry that you are giving, again, dowry was not supposed to be money alone. It can be money, it can be anything. And remember, when it comes to tradition, the tradition is relative. What I mean by being relative is that we have a lot of traditions. Okay. You know, all of them in our African traditional marriages, we still have communities that will say, okay, for our dowry, this is what you give. Okay. For our dowry, this is what you give. Having to give television for uncle, motorcycle for aunties.
Television?
There are places you go for traditional marriage and there's nothing you will not hear.
Whoa.
So now, that has pursued a lot of young men from getting married, because the price of getting married is like a young man who must have had his life savings.
Whoa.
People spend as much as 3, 4, 1 point something million in marriages. It wasn't supposed to be so.
Whoa.
It wasn't supposed to be so. And again, having the families, extended families, the village, the youth group, the women group, having to be decision makers in me giving out my daughter in marriage has cropped up to make marriage expensive. I think that's the singular factor we need to address as a people. Originally, it wasn't supposed to be so. It was supposed to be, give me any small thing there in exchange so that it will be legal that I have officially given my daughter to you. It wasn't supposed to be collecting 100 crate of mineral, 200 a cake of palm wine. You know, these palm wines and the rest of the traditional things were supposed to be gifts I, as a prospective husband, is bringing to my in-laws. It wasn't to be exorbitant demands that is prevalent now. I think that is the one problem we need to solve as a people traditionally.
Whoa. That's really incredible. Yeah. So are you saying, in my own side of understanding, let me say in my own view now, are you saying that our traditional rulers has a lot to do in terms of African traditional marriage?
Of course.
Amending most of the laws and fixing most back so that the future will have less of all this stress? Because to me, the way you put it now and to where I do see most times, it's like a stress.
It's stress. It's stressful financially for the young. There are marriages that have been discontinued because of these strenuous financial demands by the in-laws. Now, our tradition is not just the duty of our traditional marriage. We need, the way society is run now, believe me, we need government to be involved. Government, for me, government should come out and put boundaries. Boundaries in what people should give. Because traditional fathers alone will not do it and succeed. For me, the way society is being run, the way this whole thing is going, we need everybody involved to stand up and say, no, this is too much, this is too much. Let's have a boundary. But also, I think that would be very difficult because we've gone out of proportion. We don't respect our tradition. That's why these things have gone wild. And everybody and anybody will come in and do whatever they like and still call it our tradition. That's where you see negative people in families using that to oppress and make sure that these young women are not taken.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's really incredible. So what do you have to tell our viewers out there concerning African traditional marriage TV?
Well, it's a beautiful thing for our viewers out there. Keep watching African traditional marriage on YouTube, because I have realized that this time and age, we've really gone away from our tradition. Tradition, please, my people, tradition is not about Igbo and the rest of the things you view as being diabolic.
Okay.
Tradition is actually the way of life of every people.
Yeah.
The English people have their way of life.
Yes.
And we have been swallowed because of traveling and formal education. We've been swallowed by Western tradition. It's not helping us. Our language is part of our tradition. Our food is part of our tradition. The way we talk to people. I had an experience the other time. A young one posted on Facebook and said that in America you don't need to greet your boss. You don't need to greet elders. It will just pass. No! This is our own content of our tradition. Our own show of respect. We should uphold it. It doesn't mean because the Westerners are doing like this, we want to be like the Westerners. My people, we are not Westerners. We are Africans. Live like an African. Do the right thing. English or whatever language does not define intelligence. Be yourself.
Wow.
Stop following what is foreign. That is why, you see, finally, let me tell you this. Every people, every person, every people without tradition means you don't have an identity.
Wow.
You are identified by the way you talk, the way you behave,
Okay.
the content of the things you believe in and stand for. That gives definition to you, and that gives respect to you. Identity. That's my advice to my people.
Wow, this was really an incredible time having this philanthropist and this handsome man over here, an actor and a Nollywood handsome man like this. And this was really incredible having your viewers out there. This was really fun. I know you really want to know more, you want to know more. Come on, follow that TV, African Traditional Marriage TV.
Yes.
Click on that like subscription. Come on, follow, subscribe to it, and you're going to have much fun ahead. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for enjoying this particular episode. We love you.
Listen.